Charlie, thanks for your time with Craig and Paul. David Smoke. What did that game Saturday night against Alabama mean to former players like you, All-Americans or guys that played there? What did it mean to all of those, the fraternity of FSU?
I appreciate you guys having me on, and actually, it was just good and refreshing because last year was, not a very good year by anyone's standards, but especially FSU, especially coming off a 13-0 year, or 13-1. But it just helped restore the trust and faith that we knew was there. I think that having the new defensive coordinators played a big part in a lot of success. Also, having some great leadership, I think that was very instrumental as well. The QB who made plays with his legs and his arm, was presented a threat, and then defensively, they stopped one aspect of the offense, which always helps. When you're trying to stop an offense or defense, you got to stop one aspect, and they stopped the run. So it was a good start to the season. Everyone has a rebound from whether they won or lost, but to be able to beat Alabama, who's a powerhouse in the SEC, over the years, and for them to be able to accomplish that was a great feat or a great start to the year for sure.
Charlie, I'm class of 02 from FSU. Yeah, that's right. And it is, last year was just purgatory for the program, for Mike Norvell. It really impressed me. And again, it's one game, but coaches as a general rule, it takes a lot to change your mind and change your processes and all that, because you spend, and you know this as a coach, you spend a lot of time building what your routine is and what's successful for you. I came away very impressed with Mike Norvell and the 180-degree turn they made, because he took a real look at what they did wrong and kind of just went down the list and checked off every box. That is rare in coaching, I think, to be able to do that and to do it quickly.
Yeah, all great coaches, have to have a sense of accountability, and they have to look within to make sure that they're doing everything possible to give themselves a chance to be successful. And Coach Norvell, being a great coach, he did that. Like he understood that he needed to have a better handle on the entire program, and so relieving himself from the offensive coordinator duties was a tremendous blessing for the program, for him. But you also have to have people that you trust to be able to do that. And so Coach Malzahn is a great fit. He's a head coach, very good head coach that's now, overseeing just one aspect. And so you saw a lot of different wrinkles and different things that he's done in the past, but he's able to just focus on one side of the ball. So definitely looking forward to seeing how that continue to work out. And then it's just the defense was lights out when it came to stopping the run. And they'll continue to get better. Of course, just like every game, you have busts, mistakes, things that you get away with, but they'll continue to watch film to see how they can develop and get better from those mistakes. But just overall, kicking game was solid. Of course, everything can get better. But the kicking game was solid. When they needed points, they got those points necessary. But the biggest key was just seeing how the guys rallied around one another when the game got close. Guys stepped up and made plays. And that's what you kind of missed last year. And the offensive line was solid. In the run game, I think they had over 200 yards, which is when we were good. That was one of the staples, past few years, is being able to run the football. So we'll have to improve passing wise, but when the run game is solid, it gives you a chance.
So you mentioned Tommy Castellanos there at the beginning, and he had success previously against Florida State when he was at Boston College. So I'm sure you saw a little bit of him there. But I was wondering, just like how much had you seen of him prior, and how much had you been hearing about him? And I mean, he's got a swagger to him. He obviously made those comments in the offseason about Alabama and Nick Saban can't save them, and he talked the talk. But Charlie, he walked the walk on Saturday as well.
Yeah, I'm a little different than all of that. But to each his own. I'm just a big believer that you talk with your play, and when you do make those statements, you have to back it up. And he was able to do that, which we all have our different confidence boosters in the way we go about it. And so I was just proud of him, and not allowing the comments to deter him from, getting caught up. He played a really well played game when it came down to the quarterback position. Like I said, late in the game when we needed first downs, he made it happen. They gave him the ball, and so you heard Coach Malzahn and everyone talking about the confidence they have in him. When you have confidence in quarterback to make plays and make the right plays, I think it goes a long ways in just his leadership. Hopefully, he can continue to build upon that, and continue to grow to be a great leader that we know he's capable of being. But at Boston College, he had a great start against us. So actually saw that game, and so hopefully we can continue to build upon that. And there are going to be teams who are going to take away the run. So we got to get better in the passing game, and hopefully, I know they will continue to work on that because we do have some dynamic weapons on the outside. And just like any great team, a team that's going to be destined for a playoff run or win a championship, you have to be well rounded. And so I think from an offensive standpoint, we are well rounded. The passing game wasn't quite the focal point on Saturday, but at some point it will have to be. And so we have to continue to push the ball down the field and give our playmakers on the outside opportunities as well.
Charlie, you played with guys that did have a little bit more expressive swagger, et cetera. You mentioned that wasn't your style. Do you remember any time when you were at Florida State where you might have said something that was kind of a little edgy, or it just, when I think of the word classy, I think of you, and I'm not saying that because you're on the show. I always have.
Yes, I mean, I had my moments. There was one time in Virginia, my junior year, we were playing Virginia, and we had just beat Georgia Tech, and we were just bringing out the run and shoot, the fun. What is it? The fast break offense. That game against Virginia, and it was raining, so we weren't able to throw the ball or do the things we wanted to do from a passing game standpoint. But before the game, they were talking their student body they were talking trash. Before the game and the whole game, and I actually ended up scoring a touchdown. And then, what Thomas did to Alabama when he made his first down on their sideline, that's what I did to the Virginia, student body. But, those emotions happen, and you just get over it and keep playing, and you don't allow it to affect you in any other way.
I would just going back and thinking the guys that you had on those teams, and that was kind of, I mean, again, everybody kind of, formulates behind the leaders. I mean, Derek Brooks on that team, Warwick Dunn, like you guys have personalities, but you weren't braggadocious. Was there a guy on the team that was the loud one? But that vibe of 93 was more kind of stand on business.
Yeah, we had a few.
Yeah.
But the one from on the offensive side was Kevin Knox. Knox gave everybody the business, regardless of who it was. Practice, his own teammates, He gave everybody business. He was a good talker. But of course, he backed it up with his play as well. But Knox was a guy who was very competitive, and he hate losing. And so he talked to everybody and got everybody in trouble with his mouth because he was, picking a fight that somebody else had to battle. But that's just who he was, and we knew that, and just have to roll with it. But he's a very good player.
Charlie, we've had you on before when you were coaching in Houston, and now you are the head men's basketball coach at Florida A&M. The thought, the transition about what it meant to you back in the spring when you got the call and you're going to take over the program.
Well, it was definitely caught me off guard. I was getting ready. I was in Portland, Oregon, getting ready to coach the Nike Hoop Summit game. And I was there that weekend, not even knowing that I would be in a different position coming back home. But my wife gave me the blessing to be able to do it. And I was blessed to be able to talk to my associate head coach, who gave me the confidence that this would be a great move because of him being a part of the team. That's Coach Jared Lazarus. And then once it happened really, really fast, like 5 days. It was, game on and trying to figure out, the next steps, because I felt like it's a great stepping stone in a sense of going from high school to college, and me not having to move, which was a big kicker for me, taking the job. And so it's been a great, it's been very, it's been fast paced, but it's been a good pace for me. Been able to meet alumni, recruiting, the guys that we have on the team, gelling, and getting prepared for the season. And so all these things are things that, I was kind of doing in high school or preparing to do. We didn't really have a chance to recruit, but preparing for this moment in high school because of my experience, in the pros and also playing in college. And so just being able to have resources, people that I can call to help me with the fast track or give me wisdom on certain things, that's been great to be able to rely on those coaches, men and women alike. And so I'm just moving right along, and we working. We're working to get better each and every day.
One of the guys he has on the roster, Anquan Bolden Jr., another son of a Seminole legend there. And Charlie, I having just spent the time I did in Tallahassee, I wish you so much of all the best there. The fan base at FAM, the community there is so awesome that when you get, it's just a fun place to be, isn't it?
Yes. Right now we're in the honeymoon period. We haven't played any games. Yeah. And we've generated a lot of excitement from the guys that we brought on roster. You talked about Anquan Bolden. We have some Power 4 guys as well. Naheem McLeod is, Power 4 center that's with us. And so we have some quality players that we're going to have to contend to gel together because, a lot of guys are new, just like all of us. But so far, we're off to a good start. Like no big adversity has hit us just yet, but we have a good bond. Guys have been gelling well together, getting along in a sense of, when they do get upset at one another, how do we overcome? How do we, get back together so that we're all on the same team? But they compete well, compete hard in practice. So those things are, things that you need in order for when adversity does hit during the season, or when it does hit, we're one unit. And so I'm just excited about the year. My guys are working hard, doing extra to make sure that they're prepared and ready. And so we're trying to get them right.
You played under the great Bobby Bowden, and you were told you could play both sports. He honored that request. He also kept his promise to you, and you ended up, of course, playing in the NBA as well. How much of his football coaching, or is it just how he ran a program as a coach, affect who you are as a coach?
I've been blessed to have a lot of great mentors, or guys that I've played for and coached with over the years. And Coach Bowden, of course, his whole mantra was God, family, and football. That's essentially our motto as well. I was blessed to be able to play for my dad, and also some other coaches, great coaches in high school, and then in college and the pros, just great coaches when it came down to X's and O's. Um, how they ran their staffs, how they ran a team. So all those experiences, I'm pulling together to make it our own. And the one thing that we're big on is coaching the whole student athlete. We definitely here in college, education is something that we all want and should need at some point. But we're also athletes as well. And so, how do we bring those two together? Because at some point, just like myself, the ball stops bouncing, and relationships that we build, the jobs that we have, and not everyone's going to be a coach, or they may go in a different profession. But how can we give them opportunities to be in front of CEOs and others to develop relationships so that when the ball does stop bouncing, they'll have a group to be able to call on, to be able to garner that support, very similar to how I've been able to have a network of people throughout my years because of just building relationships over the years. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to give them that opportunity.
Was for you in coaching, you mentioned your dad. Was it like one of those things that even maybe if you ever kind of considered like it's not this time, did you always kind of know that you would be coaching, that it was just something you were going to have to do?
No, I actually was trying to figure out what I was going to do after I retired. And I felt like before I retired that I don't know if I could be a good coach, because a lot of things I thought I did was instinctual, which some of it was. But when I started thinking about all the experiences I had, of the fundamentals that had been taught, and all the drills that I had gone through, and watching film, and just all the things that I'd been a part of, that I could be able to give back. Those same attributes and things that someone gave to me. And so my wife and my mom was like, you've been in athletics all your life, and you probably be a good coach. And so Coach Jeff Van Gundy gave me an opportunity to be an intern the year after I retired, and I was coaching up and putting plans together for couple of the young guys on the team, and I enjoyed it. And then the opportunity came for me to be on the bench or behind the bench or be one of the staff members, start doing game plans, and all those things just started to snowball into kind of what I'm doing now. And so it was just a great blessing to be able to get that start and be able to support someone else's dream.
Charlie, good luck with Florida A&M with what you have. I mean, that clock is ticking, practices, workouts. Next thing you know, games are around the corner. Absolutely love what you the kind of person you are, and also what you've represented along the way. Thank you so much for jumping on with us when you have. Good luck moving forward, and it's great to see you.
Well, it's good seeing you all as well, and thanks for having me on.
Charlie Ward,
Strike Rattlers.
Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner, the 93 national championship team, of course, with that bang-bang game ending with Nebraska.